Welcome to the Mix Smart Kickstart. Every single day of November, that's 30 days in total, I'm going to be posting a new mixing tutorial full of tips and tricks and techniques. You can join me as I work through mixing one of my own songs in my own home studio. Please do share these videos out on social media to help others learn that mixing from your home studio isn't reserved for those super technical minds or for those that have gone to college or university. It's for all musicians, and I really hope this series helps you kickstart mixing smart. Let's dive straight in. So today I'm taking a look at mixing jobs that you need to take care of before you even start mixing, and I would definitely recommend doing these jobs on a separate day to when you start creatively mixing. And the reason for that is if you start diving in doing your housekeeping, doing kind of the bit of the boring stuff, for want of a better word, labeling things up, by the time you've kind of spent maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes doing that, some of that early enthusiasm to attack the mix can already wane, and you really want to be coming into a mix feeling creatively excited, and that first hour is so crucial. So not only do I think it's great to do these jobs on a separate day, but I also think that the benefit is that you get when you come in to do that mix fresh, you can dive straight into the mix. You don't have to be messing around doing one of these three little jobs that we're going to look at in this tutorial today. The first one of those is colouring up your tracks, which makes a significant difference. I certainly find, compared to looking at 24 black or grey tracks, if I'm looking at banks of colour, it makes life so much easier. So you'll see I've kind of, for my drums, I've got them already all banked down in pink. The bass is green, these two guitars are yellow, and so on and so on. Right at the end here, I've got my R's. I'm just going to show you how easy that is to do here in Studio One. So I'm going to make these purple. So just click on the name of the track, and you just get a whole selection of colours that you can choose. And it just makes navigating so much easier. Next on my to-do list is adding markers to the timeline. Again, this is just going to make things so much easier to navigate when you're working through the mix. And let's just bring all these faders up a little bit and take a listen to the track. So it's got this ambient intro. And the track kicks in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on here in Studio One, brings up my marker panel, and I want to insert a marker. So I've inserted here, just open that up a bit, just where this intro started the song, on bar 7. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to call it verse 1. Now I'm going to work through the rest of the track, bringing in the verses, show where the bridges are, choruses, solos, intros, outros, all that stuff. That's going to make navigating this mix so much easier. So that's my timeline done from start to end. Yes, bit of a boring job, but well worth it for the next day when you come to mix and everything's all ready and sorted for you. Finally, what I'm going to do is do a bit of exporting. I'm going to export a few of my guitar tracks. I'm using amp sims for these guitar tracks, and I want to export them and get the amp sim out of the equation, because when I'm mixing, I don't want to be playing with those amp choices which I made at the time of recording. I want to be focusing on mixing the track, and it just makes life more complicated when you're working, particularly on your own. I think it's great to make decisions, and that's one thing which can certainly colour the waters, is just having too many decisions. So I'm just checking with my amp sim here. First off, I can see I've attenuated some of the output, and that's really important to check as well. If this is coming in too hot when you export, because you can end up with a really hot mix down. That's looking fairly healthy. I'm looking on my DBFS meter. I don't want to see it peaking past -6, certainly. So when you've got that at a safe, healthy level, you can export your track. So I'm in Studio One going to go on to export stems, which is super handy, and I'm going to choose this one, Strat 1, and export it onto my desktop. So that's my track Strat 1 printed and exported. So now I've brought it back into my DAW and I've got my track here with all the amp effects printed onto it and those decisions and choices made. So now I can go onto this track Strat 1 and I can remove the track. So now here's my new track Strat 1. Healthy safe levels. Again, I was looking when I was mixing that down to not be exceeding, certainly not going over -6 dBFS on the peaks. Generally looking for it to average around sort of -10, -12 is super healthy. But now already that decision's been made. I've made my decision on what my guitars sound like. When I come to mixing that further down the line, this decision's made. I can concentrate on actually being a mixer, not being a guitarist. And this is super easy to do in bulk in Studio One. You can just go through the click boxes in export stems and export as many as you want, then just bring them in back into your DAW. Make sure if you're using amp sims, just make sure that your outputs aren't getting really super hot. There's 3 things we've done to mix smarter before we've even started mixing. And if you want to learn more about an effective mix method from your home studio, I've got a free 7 steps guide below this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.